9 Kurma Purana Introduction. The Samudra Manthana story is given in great detail in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. As for Lakshmi, some of the Puranas state that she was born as the daughter of Kyati and the sage Bhrigu. She was then married to Vishnu. But the demons defeated the gods and Indra. The sage Vyasa therefore cursed Lakshmi that she would have to live in the ocean. And when the ocean was churned, Lakshmi emerged yet again. Indra, the other gods, and the sages were charmed at Lakshmi's beauty when she appeared. Who is this wonderful goddess? They asked Vishnu. This is Lakshmi, replied Vishnu. She is also known as Shakti. It is with her help that I delude the universe and its inhabitants with my illusions, Maya. It is Lakshmi who gives me all my powers, although she is no different from me in essence. Vishnu then proceeded to tell the gods and the sages the story of Indradyumna. Indradyumna. Many years ago, there was a king named Indradyumna. He ruled the world well and, when he died, was reborn as a Brahmana. The Brahmanas constitute the first of the 4 classes. Their primary duties are to study the Vedas and perform sacrifices. As a Brahmana, Indradyumna observed religious rites and meditated. He also stayed to pray to the goddess Lakshmi. When Lakshmi appeared, Indradyumna begged of her, "Please tell me about yourself. Please give me insight into what constitutes true knowledge. Even the gods and the sages are unable to comprehend my true nature," replied Lakshmi. "I am Vishnu's illusions and there is no difference between him and me. As for knowledge, it is beyond my powers to grant you that. You will have to pray to the great Vishnu himself." Having said this, Lakshmi disappeared, and Indradyumna started to pray to Vishnu. Several years passed, but Indradyumna continued to meditate. Finally, Vishnu appeared and instructed Indradyumna on the path to true knowledge. "What did you tell Indradyumna?" asked the gods and the sages. "What was this wonderful knowledge?" "I will repeat it for your benefit," replied Vishnu. Since Vishnu repeated his teachings while in the form of a turtle of Kurma, these sacred words are known as the Kurma Purana. There are many subjects that Vishnu's instructions covered, but let us first start with the concept of varna ashrama dharma. Dharma means righteousness, and these precepts lay down the fundamental principles of righteous conduct. This is typified in the system of 4 varnas, classes, and 4 ashramas, stages of life. Varna ashrama dharma. Vishnu said that before creation began, there was only water in the universe and Vishnu slept on these waters. When it was time for creation to begin, Brahma emerged from Vishnu's body, and Shiva emerged from Vishnu's anger. Lakshmi too was created from Vishnu's body and took her place by Vishnu's side. Brahma told Vishnu, "Please use this goddess to delude the beings whom I will create. Tell her to sow the seeds of illusions in their minds. Please tell her to make the righteous prosper." Vishnu complied. He requested Lakshmi, "Please delude and destroy gods, demons and humans who are about to be created. But please leave the righteous alone and make them prosper. I will tell you how to know the righteous. They are those that follow the precepts of varna ashrama dharma." The Brahmanas constitute the first of the 4 classes. Brahma created 9 sons from his mental powers. Their names were Marichi, Bhrigu, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Daksha, Atri and Vashishtha. These sons became sages and they were the first Brahmanas. They were created from Brahma's mouth. There are 6 types of action that are recommended for Brahmanas. These are yajana, performing sacrifices, yajana, acting as priests at sacrifices, dena, donation of alms, pratigraha, receiving gifts, adhyapana, teaching and adhyayana, studying. A Brahmana who performs these tasks well, attains the wonderful place known as Prajapatiya. This would seem to be synonymous with Brahma's residence of Brahmaloka. The Kshatriyas constitute the second of the 4 classes. They were created from Brahma's arms. The duties of Kshatriyas include dena, donation of alms, adhyayana, studying, and performing yajnas, sacrifices. But their primary duties are to take up arms and fight. It is their job to punish the evil and protect the good. A Kshatriya who performs these tasks well, attains Indra's residence of Indraloka. The Visayas constitute the third of the 4 classes. They were created from Brahma's thighs. Like the Kshatriyas, the Visayas can also donate alms, study and perform sacrifices. But their primary duty is agriculture. In many other Puranas, trade and animal husbandry are mentioned in addition to agriculture. A Vaishya who performs these tasks well, gets to live with Vayu, the god of the wind. The Shudras constitute the last of the 4 classes. They were created from Brahma's feet. Their primary duty is to serve the other 3 classes. In addition, a Shudra can adopt artisanship as an occupation. A Shudra who performs these tasks well, will live with the Gandharvas, singers of heaven. Generally speaking, all 4 classes have to observe the religion that is prescribed in the Vedas. There are various other Shastras, religious texts, that circulate on earth. But many of them are against the Vedas. The religion that is prescribed in such anti-Vedic texts must not be followed. Only sinners follow such religions, and they are doomed to eternal damnation. There are 4 ashramas, stages of life. The first one is brahmacharya, celibate studenthood. The primary duties of a person who is in this stage of life are studying the Vedas and serving one's guru, teacher, well. He has to live on alms that are obtained through begging. When this stage of life is over, there are 2 options that are available to the individual. In rare instances, he may desire to devote the rest of his life to studying and meditation. Such a person is known as Nastika. More commonly, individuals wish to step into the next stage of life. An individual who does so is known as an upakurvana. The second stage of life is grihastha, householder stage. A householder's primary duties are serving guests, performing sacrifices, donating alms, worshipping the gods, and keeping the sacred fire burning in the house at all times. In cases where the householder is absent from the house, these functions are to be performed by his wife or sons, or even by his priest. A householder must not also forget to study a little bit of the Vedas every day. The householder stage is superior to the other 3 stages of life. The reason is that the alms provided by a householder are the means of sustenance for individuals who are in the other 3 stages of life. A householder may be one of 2 types. He may be a sadhaka, in which case his chief obsession is that of satisfying his friends and relatives. Alternatively, there may be a householder who is udsina. This means that he is not really interested in his wife, his sons, or in the acquisition of material wealth. His chief obsession is that of being freed from the bonds of the world. The third stage of life is vanaprastha, forest-dwelling stage. Such a person retires to the forest and lives on fruits and roots. He studies the Vedas, performs tapasya, meditation, and observes religious rites. But one should never embark on a forest-dwelling stage unless one's mind is ready for it. This also means that one must have had sons. Without sons to carry on the line, it is not recommended that a householder venture out on the forest-dwelling stage. There are two types of forest dwellers. The first type consists of individuals who primarily devote themselves to worshipping the gods and performing religious ceremonies. Such an individual is known as a tapasya, because he does do some tapasya. But there are individuals who devote themselves entirely to meditation. Such a person is known as a sannyasika, since there is very little of difference between him and a sannyasi, hermit. The fourth and final stage of life is sannyasa, hermithood. Such individuals spend all their time in meditating. They beg food for a living. It is not proper to become a hermit unless one's mind has achieved detachment from the world. There are two types of hermits. The first type consists of those who are trying to realize the true nature of the Atman, human soul. Such a person treats all other individuals as he would treat himself and is known as a yogi. But there are also hermits who go through intense meditation so as to attain the supreme wisdom. Such a person is known as a paramayashtika. There are various other traits that are demanded by the righteous way of life. One must forgive and display pity. One must not be jealous and must be ready to sacrifice one's own selfish interests. One must be truthful, practice non-violence and learn to control the senses. One must also visit Tirthas, places of pilgrimage. It is also important to realize that one does not perform actions for the sake of the fruits of the actions. The fruits of all actions vest with the Brahman, the divine essence. In fact, it is a gross misconception to think that the specific action is being performed by an individual. All actions are performed by the Brahman. The ordinary human being is merely an instrument. As long as this realization is missing, an individual is ignorant and is doomed to the shackles of worldly bonds. Creation. Vishnu next narrated to the gods and the sages the history of creation. In the beginning, the Brahman was everywhere. The Brahman had no form, but nor was it without form. It had no beginning and no end. It had no traits, but nor was it without traits. The Brahman is impossible to describe, sense or see. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are derived from the Brahman. Brahma performs the function of a creator, Vishnu that of a preserver and Shiva that of destroyer. When it was time for creation to begin, the Brahman created water throughout the universe. Before that, there was nothing. In the water, there appeared a golden, Hiranya, egg, Anda. The egg grew in size and Brahma, the creator, appeared inside the egg. Everything that there is in the universe was already there, in embryonic form, inside the egg. There were gods, the demons, humans, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets and the wind. The word Garbha means womb, and since Brahma originated from inside a golden, Hiranya, egg, he is known as Hiranyagarbha. Brahma was the first being to be created. He had 4 faces. He had no birth, Janana, in the real sense of the term. He is therefore also referred to as Aja, without birth. It is also true that he created Guva, himself, Swayam. It is because of this that Brahma is known as Swayambhu. Brahma was to be the Lord, Pati, of all the subjects who were going to be born, Praja. Thus, Brahma acquired the name of Prajapati. To appreciate how creation took place, it is first necessary to have some conception about the nature of time. A digression on time. The smallest unit of time is a nimesha. 15 nimshas make one kashta, 30 kashtas are one kala, and 30 kalas constitute one muhurta. There are 30 muhurtas in a span of day and night, ahoritra. 30 such ahoritras make up a month. There are 2 pakshs, fortnight, in every month. 6 months constitute an ayana and 2 ayanas a year. There are thus 12 months in every year. The names of the 2 ayanas are Uttarayana and Dakshinayan. While humans pass through Uttarayana, the gods pass through only one day. Similarly, when humans pass through Dakshinayan, the gods pass through merely one night. 1 year for humans is equivalent to a time span of 1 day and 1 night for the gods. 12,000 years of the gods make up one Mahayuga. This is subdivided into 4 yugas, eras. The names of these eras are Satya Yuga or Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga has 4,000 years, Treta Yuga 3,000, Dwapara Yuga 2,000 and Kali Yuga 1,000. This adds up to 10,000 years. But there are also periods that join 2 yugas, Sandhyansha. Satya Yuga has a Sandhyansha of 400 years, Treta Yuga of 300, Dwapara Yuga of 200 and Kali Yuga of 100. There will therefore be 700 additional years between Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. 500 between Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga of 200 and Kali Yuga of 100. There will therefore be 700 additional years between Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, 500 between Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga, 300 between Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga and 500 between Kali Yuga and the next Satya Yuga. These are 2000 additional years, and when added up to the earlier figure of 10,000, make up 12,000 years. There are a little over 71 Manvantaras, eras, in each Mahayuga. Each Manvantara is a time period that is ruled over by a Manu. The first Manu in the present Kalpa, cycle, was Swayambhuva Manu, and there were several other Manus after him. Each Kalpa in fact passes during one of Brahma's days, and there are 14 Manvantaras in a Kalpa. Stated differently, there are 1000 Mahayugas in every Kalpa. 360 Kalpas constitute one of Brahma's years. 100 times this time period is known as a Paradha. At the end of this period, the whole universe is destroyed and Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are also destroyed. At the end of the destruction, creation starts afresh, and this creation is known as Saga. There is a smaller process of destruction that takes place at the end of every Kalpa. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are not destroyed, but everything else is. The creation that comes at the end of this minor destruction is known as Pratisaga. The present Kalpa is known as Vara Kalpa. The one that preceded it was known as Padma Kalpa. Why is the present Kalpa called Vara Kalpa? The gods and the sages asked Vishnu. Vishnu told them the story of his boar incarnation. The boar incarnation Vara is a boar, and the boar incarnation is usually catalogued as the third of Vishnu's 10 incarnations. When the universe was submerged in water after the destruction that came at the end of Padma Kalpa, Vishnu slept on the waters. Thus he slept for 1000 Mahayugas. Since the word Nara means water and Ayana means resting place, Vishnu is also referred to as Narayana. Brahma decided to start creation afresh, but discovered that the earth was submerged in water. How would his creations survive if there was no earth? He therefore requested Vishnu to bring the earth up from under the water. Vishnu adopted the form of a boar and went to the underworld. He discovered the earth there and raised her up on the tusks of the boar. The boar carefully raised the earth and laid her to rest on top of the water. The earth began to float like a gigantic boat. Since Vishnu raised the earth in the form of a boar at the beginning of the Kalpa, the present cycle is known as Vara Kalpa. The story of the boar incarnation is rather summarily disposed of in the Kurma Purana. The other Puranas describe it at great length. Apart from the question of raising up the earth from under the water, the story revolves around the demon Hiranyaksha. This demon was the son of the sage Kashyapa and his wife Diti. He defeated the gods and drove them out of heaven. In desperation, the gods started to pray to Vishnu. Hiranyaksha used to live under the water, and Vishnu entered the water in his form of a boar and killed Hiranyaksha. He also recovered the Vedas which had been stolen by Hiranyaksha. Creation continued. Brahma first created 5 sons through his mental powers. Their names were Sankha, Sanatana, Sanandana, Kratu and Sanata Kumara. These 5 sons became sages and did not have any offspring. Brahma therefore had to create some more beings so that the population of the universe might increase. But prior to that, he decided to perform tapasya. However, the meditation did not yield him any results, and Brahma became very angry and disheartened. He started to weep, and a teardrop fell on the ground. From this drop, there emerged Shiva. Brahma bowed before Shiva and said, "Please create some living beings." This Shiva proceeded to do. But all the beings that Shiva created were mirror images of himself. That is, they were all immortal. "I beg your pardon," retorted Shiva. "That I refuse to do. Old age and disease are not objects that should be sought after. In fact, they are evil. I flatly refuse to create such evil." "All right then," said Brahma. "I will take care of creation myself. Please stop creating." The first objects that Brahma created were water, fire, the sky, heaven, Swarga, wind, rivers, mountains, oceans, trees, herbs and time. Brahma next created 11 sons from his mental powers. Their names were Marichi, Brigu, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Daksha, Atri Vashishta, Dharma and Sankalpa. In the earlier section on Varna Ashrama Dharma, only 9 sons were mentioned. Dharma and Sankalpa did not figure in that list. Thereafter, Brahma created 4 classes of beings. These were gods, demons, ancestors, pitris, and humans. The demons were born from Brahma's thighs, the gods from his mouth. The snakes, Sarpa, the yakshas, demigods, the ghosts, Bhuta, and the Gandharvas were born next. Cows were born from Brahma's stomach, and horses, elephants, donkeys, deer, camels and mules from his feet. Herbs and trees emerged from Brahma's body hair. This account contradicts a more common account given in some of the other Puranas, such as the Bhagavad Purana. In the more usual account, all beings are descended from the sage Kashyapa. Kashyapa married 13 of Daksha's daughters. These daughters were named Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kashta, Arishta, Sursa, Ila, Muni, Krodvasha, Tamra, Surbhi, Sarama and Timi. Aditi's offspring were the gods, Adityas, Ditis the demons, Daityas. Danu's offspring were other demons, Danvas, Kashta's children horses, Arishta's Gandharvas, Sursa's demons, Rakshasas, Ila's offspring trees and herbs, Munis the Apsaras, dancers of heaven, Krodvasha's ghosts, Pishachas, Tamra's birds, Surbhi's cattle, Sarama's wild animals and Timi's marine creatures. The Kurma Purana itself refers to this alternative account subsequently. To return to the present account of the Kurma Purana, Brahma thereafter divided his body into two. One half was male and was called Swayambhuva Manu. The remaining half was female and was called Shatrupa. Manu and Shatrupa married and had 2 sons and 2 daughters. The sons were named Priyavrata and Uttanpada, and the daughters were named Prasuti and Akuti. Since all humans are Manu's descendants, they are known as Manva. Prasuti married Daksha and they had 24 daughters. The Puranas are not at all consistent about the number of daughters Prasuti and Daksha had. The number is sometimes 24, sometimes 50 and sometimes 60. 13 of the 24 daughters were married to Brahma's son Dharma. Of the remaining 11, Khyati was married to Bhrigu, Sati to Shiva, Sambhuti to Marichi, Smriti to Angira, Preeti to Pulastya, Kshama to Pulaha, Sanneti to Kratu, Ansuya to Atri, Urja to Vashishta, Swaha to the fire god Agni, and Swadha to the ancestors, Pitris. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, the gods and the sages, told Vishnu, "We are getting a bit confused. You have told us that Brahma emerged from Vishnu's body. And yet you have also told us how Brahma was born inside a golden egg. Which of these is the correct account? Then again, you have told us that Shiva was born from one of Brahma's tears. But we have sometimes heard otherwise. Which is right? Please remove this confusion." "There is no confusion," replied Vishnu. "Let me explain it for you. Brahma was born from the golden egg right at the beginning, at the time of the original creation. But at the end of every kalpa there is a minor destruction when all living beings other than Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva die. When the destruction is over, creation has to start afresh. At the end of the last kalpa, there was water everywhere in the universe. The heaven, the earth and the underworld were all flooded with water. There were no gods and no sages. Only the great Vishnu slept on the water. He had 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 arms and 1,000 feet. This was his form of Ananta, the snake, Naga. The Kurma Purana completely identifies Vishnu with Ananta. More commonly, the Puranas state that the snake Ananta was the son of Kadru and the sage Kashyapa. He pleased Brahma through his prayers and obtained from Brahma the boon that he would be permitted to hold up the earth on his words. The Kalika Purana specifically states that, at the time of destruction, Vishnu and Lakshmi rest on Ananta's central head. The Vishnu Purana adds the information that Ananta was one of Balram's avatars. The names Shesha, Vasuki and Gonasa are often used synonymously with Ananta. While Vishnu thus slept on the water, a wonderful lotus sprouted from his navel. The lotus was gigantic and shone like the sun. Its fragrance spread in all directions. Brahma appeared inside the lotus. Since Padma means lotus and Yoni means place of birth, Brahma is also known as Padmayoni. Brahma saw Vishnu sleeping on the water and woke him up. "Who are you?" asked Brahma. "I am Vishnu," replied Vishnu. "I am the origin of everything. That will be there in the universe is inside my body." "Is that really so?" asked Vishnu. "Let me see." Vishnu thereupon entered Brahma's body. He really found the 3 worlds, the gods, the demons and the humans inside Brahma's stomach and was greatly surprised. He emerged from Brahma's mouth and told Brahma, "What I have seen inside your body is truly wonderful. But I too can show you many worlds inside my body. Please enter and see for yourself." It was now Brahma's turn to enter Vishnu's body. But when Brahma did this, he could find no end to Vishnu's stomach. It was true that there were many worlds inside Vishnu's body. However, Brahma could find no way of coming out from Vishnu's stomach. He finally started to emerge through Vishnu's navel, through the stalk of the lotus that was there. "How dare you try to confine me inside your body?" demanded Brahma, as soon as he managed to get out. "Please do not get angry," replied Vishnu. "I merely thought that I would play with you for a while. Otherwise, it is inconceivable that anyone should dare to confine the great Brahma. Please pardon me. And as a token of your pardon, please grant me the boon that henceforth, you will be known as my son. After all, you did emerge from a lotus that grew out of my navel." "Agreed," said Brahma. "Let us make peace. After all, there is no one else. We are the lords of everything. We are parts of the Brahman." "Please do not forget Shiva," responded Vishnu. "Your words will anger him and bring about your undoing." While the two were thus conversing, Shiva appeared on the scene. He had a third eye in the middle of his forehead and his hair was matted. A trident could be seen in his hand. "Who is this fellow?" asked Brahma. "He looks like an upstart." Vishnu calmed Brahma down. He also gave Brahma divine eyes so that Brahma could comprehend the true nature of Shiva. Brahma then started to pray to Shiva. Pleased with Brahma's prayers, Shiva agreed to grant Brahma a boon. "Please grant me the boon that you will be born as my son," said Brahma. Shiva agreed to do so and went away. Rudra Brahma returned to his seat on the lotus flower. Suddenly, two demons named Madhu and Kaitbha appeared. They were exceedingly strong and threatened to destroy everything that Brahma would create. Brahma therefore requested Vishnu to kill these two demons. Vishnu created two beings from his own body and these two beings killed the demons. The Madhu and Kaitbha story is given in greater detail in other Puranas, such as the Kalika Purana. While Vishnu was sleeping, the two demons were born from his ears. One of them desired to have some honey as soon as he was born. Since the word for honey is Madhu, he came to be known as Madhu. The other one looked like an insect. Since the word for insect is Tirtha, he came to be known as Kaitbha. These brothers attacked Brahma and Vishnu had to fight with them so as to rescue Brahma. The fight went on for 5,000 years before Vishnu could kill them. After the demons were killed, the fat, Meda, from their bodies formed the earth. That is the reason why the earth is known as Medini. After Madhu and Kaitbha had been killed, Brahma could start to create. He first created, through his mental powers, the sons whose names have earlier been mentioned. Since Shiva had promised that he would be born as Brahma's son, Brahma decided to perform tapasya so as to accomplish this. He prayed for many years, but nothing happened. In utter frustration, Brahma began to cry. The ghosts, Bhuta and Preta, were born from these tears. Brahma was so disgusted at having created these awful creatures, that he committed suicide. It was then that Shiva was born from Brahma's mouth and Brahma revived. You will have noticed the contradiction. Earlier, it had been stated that Shiva was born from a teardrop and there had been no mention of Brahma's suicide. The suicide is not mentioned in other Puranas either, nor is there any mention of Shiva or Rudra being born from a teardrop. In the Vishnu Purana, he suddenly appeared in Brahma's lap. In the Padma Purana, he was born from Brahma's furrowed brows. The baby started to cry as soon as he was born. "Don't cry," said Brahma. "Since you cried when you were born, you will be known as Rudra." The Kurma Purana is not specific on why the baby cried. The other Puranas state that the baby cried for the want of a name. Brahma therefore gave the boy the name of Rudra, as the word Rub means to cry. The boy continued to cry and Brahma gave him several other names as well. The Puranas however disagree about what these various names were. In addition to Rudra, Brahma gave the boy the names Bhuva, Sarv, Ishana, Pashupti, Bhima, Ugra and Mahadev. In these 8 different forms, Shiva was to live in the sun, the water, the sky, the fire, the wind, the trees, the bodies of Brahmanas and the moon. Parvati's 1,000 names. Shiva was married to Daksha's daughter Sati. Sati died and was reborn as Parvati, the daughter of Himalaya, and his wife Meena, alternatively, Menka. Parvati was married to Shiva. In fact, Himalaya and Meena prayed so that they might have the goddess as their daughter. Pleased with their prayers, the goddess arrived before Himalaya and Meena and showed them her divine form. She also promised them that she would be born as their daughter. There were 1,000 names of the goddess that Himalaya recited in the course of his prayers, 1,008 to be precise. These names are as follows. For convenience, we have reproduced them in groups of 10 names each. 1. Shiva, Uma, Parmashakti, Ananta, Nishkala, Amla, Shanta, Maheshwari, Nitya, Shashwati. 2. Parmakshara, Achintya, Kevala, Shivatma, Paramatma, Anadi, Avyaya, Shuddha, Devatma, Sarvaga. 3. Achala, Eka, Aneka Vibhagastha, Mayatita, Sunirmala, Mahamangheshwari, Satya, Mahadeva, Niranjana, Kashta. 4. Sarvantarastha, Chitshakti, Atilalasa, Nanda, Sarvatmika, Vidya, Jyotirupa Amrita, Akshara, Shanti. 5. Sarvapratishta, Nivritti, Amrita Prada. Vyomamurti, Vyomalaya, Vyomadhara, Achyuta, Amara, and Ainigna, Amoga. 6. Karnatma, Kalakula, Swata Pratmaja, Amritanabhi, Atma Sanshraya, Praneshwara Priya, Mata, Mahamhishagatini, Pranarupa, Pradhan Purusheshwari. 7. Sarvashakti, Kalakra, Jyotsana, Sarvakayaniyantari, Sarvabhuteshwari, Samsarayoni, Skala, Sarvashaktismudbhava, Samsapotha, Durvara. 8. Durnirikshya, Durasada, Pranashakti, Pranavidya, Yogini, Parmakla, Mahavibhuti, Daradhasha, Mula Prakritid Sambhava. 9. Anadyanantavitva, Paramagapkashini, Swagasthityantarakarani, Sudurvachya, Duratyaya, Shabdeoni, Shabdamai, Nadakya, Nadvigraha, Anadi. 10. Avyaktaguna, Mahanada, Sanatni, Akashayoni, Yogastha, Mahayogeshwareshwari, Mahamaya, Sudushpura, Mula Prakriti, Ishwari. 11. Pradhan Purushatita, Pradhan Purushatmika, Purana, Chinmayi, Adi Purusharupini, Bhutantavast, Kutastha, Mahapurusha Samjnita, Janmamrityujratita, Sarvashaktismanvita. 12. Vyapini, Anvajana, Pradhanupravshinin, Kshetrajna Shakti, Avyaktalakshana, Malvajeta, Anadimaya Sambinna, Prakriti Graha, Mahamaya Samuppanna, Thamasi. 13. Porishi, Duva, Vyaktatmika, Krishna, Avyaktatmika, Rakta, Shukla, Prasutika, Akaya, Kayajanni. 14. Nitya Praswadhamini, Saga Pralyanirmukta, Shrishtisthityanthadamini, Brahmagarbha, Chaturvimsha, Padmanabha, Achyutatmika, Vaidyuti, Shashwati, Yuni. 15. Jagnamata, Ishvara Priya, Sarvadhara, Maharupa, Savashyasmanita, Vishwarupa, Mahagarbha, Vishveshechanuvartini, Matlayasi, Brahmayoni. 16. Matlakshmismudbhava, Mahavimanamadhyastha, Mahanidra, Atmahetuka, Sarvasadharani, Sukshma, Avidya, Paramatiki, Anantarupa, Anantastha. 17. Purushamohini, Devi, Aneka Samsthana, Kaltaya Vivajita, Brahmajanma, Harimurti, Brahmakya, Brahme Vishnu Shivatmika, Brahmesha Vishnuchnani, Brahma Sanshraya. 18. Vyakta, Pratmaja, Brahmi, Matti, Brahmarupini, Vairageshwari Dhamatma, Brahmamurti, Hridisthita, Apmayoni, Swalmabhuti. 19. Mansi, Tattvasambhava, Ishwarni, Savani, Shankararadha Sharirini, Bhavani, Rudrani, Mahalakshmi, Ambika, Maheshwara Samutpanna. 20. Bhuktai Muktifala Prada, Sarveshwari, Sarvavandhya, Nita Muditam Nasa, Brahmendropendranmita, Shankarejanuvartini, Ishwararada Sangata, Maheshwa Pativrata, Sakrit Vibhata, Sarvarthis Mudrapari Shoshini. 21. Parvati, Himamvat Putri, Permanadrini, Gundya, Yogaja, Yogya, Jnanamurti, Vikashini, Savitri, Kamla. 22. Lakshmi, Shri, Ananta Vakshatstalesthita, Sarojanilaya, Ganga, Yoganidra, Asuradini Saraswati, Sarvavidya, Jagajyavyasht. 23. Sumangala, Vagdevi Varada, Avachya Kirti, Sarvartha Sadhika, Yogeshwari, Brahma Vidya, Mahavidya, Sushobna. 24. Guhaya Vidya, Atma Vidya, Dharma Vidya Atma Vita, Swaha, Vishwambara, Siddhi, Swadha, Medha, Dhriti. 25. Shruti, Niti, Suniti, Sukriti, Madhvi, Naravahini, Pujya, Vibhavti, Soamya, Bogini. 26. Bogashayani, Shobha, Vamshakari, Lola, Manini, Paramayashtini, Tralokya Sundari, Ramaya, Sundari, Kamacharini. 27. Mahanubhava, Sattvast, Mahamhishamardini, Padmamala, Paphara, Vichitramoy Kutangala, Kanta, Chitrambardhara, Divyabarna Bhushita. 28. Hansakya, Vyumanilaya, Jagashrishti Vivaradhini, Niyantari, Yantramadhyastha, Nandini, Bhadrakalika, Adityavarna, Kaumari. 29. Mayurvaravhana, Vrishsangata, Gauri, Mahakali, Surachita, Aditi, Niyata, Raudri, Padmagabhavivahna. 30. Virupakshi, Lelihana, Mahasurvinashini, Mahafila, Anavadyangi, Kamarupa, Vibhavari, Koishiki, Vichitraratnamukutha, Pranatati Prabhanjani. 31. Kashani, Ratri, Tridashati Vainashini, Vahurupa, Virupa, Surupa, Rupa Vrajita, Bhatartishmani, Bhavya, Bhavatpavinashini. 32. Nirguna, Nitya Vibhava, Nitsara, Nirapatrapa, Tapaswini, Samgiti, Bhavankani Layalaya, Diksha, Vidyadhari, Dipta. 33. Manandreri Nipetini, Sarvatishayani, Vidya, Sarvasiddhi Pradini, Sarveshwara Priya, Tarakshi, Samudrantavasini, Akalanka, Niradhar. 34. Nitya Shiddha, Niramaya, Kamdenu, Vrihadgarbha, Dimeti, Mohinshini, Nitsankalpa, Niratnaka, Vinya. 35. Vinay Priya, Jwalamla Sahasradhyaya, Dev Devi, Manomai, Mahabhagavati, Bhaga, Vasudevasmudbhava, Mahendra Bhagini. 36. Bhaktigamya, Pavara, Jnanajnaya, Jaratita, Vedanta Vishaya, Gati, Dakshina, Dahana, Dant, Sarvabhut Namanskrita. 37. Yoganmaya, Vibhagajna, Moha, Garyasi, Sandhya, Brahma Vidyashraya, Vijankosamudbhuti, Mahashakti, Mahamti, Kshanti. 38. Prajna, Chiti, Samvit, Mahabhogindrashayani, Vikriti, Shankari, Shanti, Gangandavazi Vaita, Vashvanari, Mahashala. 39. Devsena, Guhapriya, Maharatri, Shivananda, Shachi, Dupswapnanashini, Ijya, Pujya, Jagaddatri, Dovinya. 40. Sarpini, Guhelvika, Gunotpakti, Mahapita, Marutsuta, Havyavahanta Gadi, Havyavhasamudbhava, Jagdyoni, Jagnamata, Janmamrityujratiga. 41. Vadli, Mahabuddhimeti, Purushantaravsini, Tharaswini, Samadhistha, Trinitra, Divisamsthita, Sarvendriya Manomata, Sarvabhuta Hridisthita, Samsratarini. 42. Sattva Shuddhikari, Shuddhi, Maltaya Vinashini, Jagatpriya, Jaganmurti, Trimurti, Amritashraya, Nirashraya, Nirahara, Nirankusha Podotbhava. 43. Surupa, Bhavini, Harini, Prabha, Anmilani, Sarvasaha, Sarvapratyayasakashini, Susoamya, Chandravdana, Tandavaskatamanasa. 44. Sativasuddhikari, Shuddhi, Maltaya Vinashini, Jagatpriya, Jaganmurti, Trimurti, Amritashya, Nirashraya, Nirahara, Nirankushpadotbhava. 45. Chakrahesta, Vyochitrangi, Sragvani, Padmadharini, Pavavidhanajna, Mahapayasha Purvaja, Vishveshwarapriya, Vidyut, Vidyujjihava, Jitashrama. 46. Vidyamai, Sehesrakshi, Sehesravadanatmaja, Sehesrarashmi, Sattvast, Maheshwapadashraya, Kshalini, Mrinmayi, Vyapta, Padmavodhika. 47. Thajasi, Mahamayashraya, Manya, Mahadevanaurama, Vyumalakshmi, Sinharta, Chekitana, Amitaprabha, Vireshwari, Vimanastha. 48. Vishoka, Shoknashini, Anata, Kundalini, Nalini, Padmapsini, Sadananta, Sahakriti, Vagdevetha, Sarvabhutashrayasthita. 49. Brahmakala, Vishnushi Vegraja, Paragti, Kshobhika, Bandika, Vedya, Vela Vivajita, Kalaleta, Kalani. 50. Brahmashri, Brahma Hridaya, Vyuma Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jama Shakti, Abhinna, Vinna Sanstana, Vashini, Vamshakarini, Guhaya Shakti. 51. Gunetita, Sarvala, Sarvatomuki, Bhagini, Bhagwatpatni, Skala, Kalakarini, Sarvavit, Sarvatobhadra. 52. Guhayatitha, Guharani, Prakriya, Yogamata, Ganga, Vishveshareshwari, Kapila, Akepila, Kanta, Kamlabha. 53. Kalanthara, Punya, Pushkarini, Gokri, Purnadapurtsara, Poshani, Parameshwarya Bhutida, Bhutibhushana, Panchabrahmasmukpakti. 54. Paramartha Vigraha, Dharmodaya, Bhanumati, Yogijnaya, Manojva, Manoma, Manoraska, Tapasi, Vadarupini, Vedashakti. 55. Vedmat, Vedavidya Prakashini, Yogeshwareshwari, Mata, Mahashakti, Manomai, Vyanmurti, Vidyunmala, Vyasi. 56. Kinri, Surbhi, Vidya, Nandini, Nandivalabha, Bharatai, Parmananda, Parapravibhelika, Sarvaprahanopeta, Kamya. 57. Kameshwareshwari, Achintya, Anantavibhava, Bhulekha, Kankaprabha, Kushmandi, Dhanratnadhya, Sugandha, Gandhadreni, Trivikramabdodbhuta. 58. Dhanushpani, Shivoya, Sudurlebla, Dhanadhyaksha, Dhanya, Pingalalochna, Shanti, Prabhavati, Deepti, Pankajatalochna. 59. Adya, Hritamaloddbhuta, Gomata, Ranapriya, Satkriya, Girisha, Shuddhi, Nityapushta, Nirantara, Durga. 60. Katyayani, Chandi, Charichitanga, Suvigraha, Hiranyavarna, Jagti, Jagadhyantarapravartika, Sarada, Mandaradrinivasa, Swarnamalini. 61. Ratnamala, Ratnagrabha, Pushti, Vishwapramtini, Padmanana, Padmanibha, Nityatushta, Amraitudbhava, Dhunvati, Dushprakampa. 62. Suryamata, Drishadvati, Mahendrabhagini, Soamya, Varenya, Varadeika, Kalyani, Kamlavasa, Panchakuda, Varaprada. 63. Vachya, Amreshwari, Vandya, Durjaya, Duratikrama, Kalratri, Mahabega, Vibhadrapriya, Hita, Bhadrakali. 64. Jagnamata, Bhattamangaladeni, Karala, Pingalakra, Kambela, Maheswana, Yashaswini, Yashoda, Shadvaparivartika, Shankini. 65. Padmini, Sankhya, Sankhyayoga Pravartika, Chatra, Samvatsara Ruda, Jipta Sampunai, Indraja, Kshambari, Kechari, Pastha. 66. Kambagriva, Kali Priya, Kagadvaja, Kagruda, Varhai, Pubmalini, Ashwaryapadmanilaya, Virkata, Garudsana, Jayanti. 67. Hridguhagamya, Shankareshtagnagrani, Samayastha, Sankalpa Siddha, Sarvavijnanteni, Kaliklakavihantrui, Guhayanpanishadutama, Nishtha, Drishti. 68. Smriti, Vyapi, Pushti, Tushti, Kriyavti, Vishwamreshwasrishna, Bhukti, Mukti, Shiva, Amrita. 69. Lohita Sarpamala, Visani, Nirmalini, Ananta Shaina, Ananta, Nirnarayano Bhava, Narayi Singhi, Detyamtini, Shankachakra Gadadhara, Ambika. 70. Sankarshan Samupatti, Padasan Shrava, Mahajwala, Mahabhuti, Sumurti, Sarvakamduka, Suprabha, Sastani, Soari, Dharmakamartha Mokshada. 71. Brumadhyanilaya, Purva, Purana Purusharani, Mahavibhutida, Madhya, Sarojnayana, Sama, Anadya, Nilotpaldalaprabha, Astadasha Bhuja. 72. Sarvashakyas Naruda, Dharmadama Vivajita, Varagajnana Nirata, Niraloka, Nirindri, Vichitragahandara, Shwashvatsthanvasini, Sthaneshwari, Nirnanda, Trishulvadharimi. 73. Asheshe Devet Murti, Devetvara Devetha, Ganambika, Giriputri, Nishumbhavinipetini, Avarna, Varna Rahita, Trivarn, Jivasambhava, Anantavarn. 74. Ananyastha, Shankari, Shantamnasa, Agotra, Gomti, Goptri, Guhayarupa, Gunoktara, Go, Git. 75. Govyapriya, Gaunak, Ganeshwarnamanskrita, Satyabhama, Satyasandha, Trisandhya, Sandivajita, Sarvavdashraya, Sankhya, Sankhayog Samudbhava. 76. Asankhaya, Aprameyakya, Shunya, Sudakulodbhava, Vindunadas Mukpakti, Shambhuvasa, Shashiprabha, Pishanga, Vedarahita, Manojna. 77. Madhusudani, Mahesri, Shri Smutapati, Tamope Pratishtita, Tritatwamta, Trividha, Susukshmapda Sanshraya, Shantyatita, Malatita, Nirvikra. 78. Nirashraya, Shivakya, Chittanilaya, Kashyapai, Shivajnanaswarupini, Daityadnavnimuki, Kalakarnika, Shastrayoni, Kriyamurti, Chatruvarga Pradashika. 79. Narayani, Narodguti, Koyamudi, Lingadrini, Kamuki, Kalita, Bhav, Pavavibhutida, Vadva, Pararadha Jatamahima. 80. Vamalochna, Subhadra, Devki, Sita, Manaswini, Vede Vedanga Praga, Manumata, Mahamanus Mundabba, Amanu, Amritaswala. 81. Puruhuta, Purushatuta, Ashuchya, Bhinnavishya, Hiranyarajata Priya, Hiranyarajni, Hami, Hemvarna Bhushita, Vibrajamana, Dirjnail. 82. Jyotishtama Philiprada, Matnidras Mudbayuti, Anidra, Satyadeveta, Dirga, Kakumini, Hridya, Shantida, Shantivaradhini, Lakshyadi Shaktijanni. 83. Shakti Chakra Pravartika, Tri Shaktijanni, Janya, Shajamipari Sudma, Karmakrani, Yuganta Dhanatmika, Sankashini, Jagaddatri, Kamayoni. 84. Kiritini, Aindri, Tralokyanamita, Vaishnavi, Paramayashwari, Pradyumnadayatha, Daktri, Yugamadrishti, Trilochna, Madotkat. 85. Hansakti, Prachanta, Chanta Vikrama, Vrishevesha, Vishanmatra, Vindhyapavatwasini, Hima Vanmerunilaya, Kalazagirivasini, Chanurahan Krithanaya, Ainavaitajna. 86. Kamarupini, Vedevedya, Vratasnata, Brahmashalani Vasini, Vibhadra Praja, Veera, Siddha, Mahakamasmudbhava, Vidyanadharani Kriti. 87. Apyayani, Haranti, Pavni, Poshani, Kala, Matrika, Manmatudbhuta, Varija, Vagnapriya, Sudha. 88. Karishayani, Vani, Vinvadane Tapara, Sevita, Sevika, Sevya, Garudakmati, Arundhati, Hiranyakshi. 89. Mrigakshi, Manadeni, Vasuprada, Vasumati, Vasudhara, Vasundara, Dharadhara, Varoha, Charachasafsada, Shrifala. 90. Shrimti, Shrisha, Srinivasa, Shivapriya, Sridhari, Shrikari, Kalya, Sridhararadha Sharirini, Anantadrishti, Akshudra. 91. Datrisha, Danada Priya, Detis Muhaniantari, Singhika, Singhavana, Suvachala, Sushroni, Sukirti, Chinnasanshaya, Rasajna. 92. Rasada, Rama, Lelihana, Amritesrava, Nityodita, Swayamajyotiya, Upsuka, Mritajivani, Vajratunda, Vajrajihava. 93. Mangalya, Mandla, Mala, Nirmala, Malharini, Gandhavi, Garulai, Chandri, Kambalashvatra Sodamini. 94. Janananda, Brikuti Kutilanana, Karnikrakara, Kakshya, Kamsapranaparini, Yugandhara, Yugvarta, Trisandhya, Harshavardhini, Pratyakshedeveta. 95. Divya, Divyagandhati Vasna, Shakrasangata, Shakri, Sadhya, Charushasana, Ishta, Vishishta, Shishteshta, Shishtashishta Prapujita. 96. Shatrupa, Shatavarta, Vinta, Surbhi, Sura, Surendramta, Sudyumna, Sushumna, Suryasanstita, Samiksha. 97. Satpratishta, Nivritti, Jnanpuraga, Dharmashastrartha Kushala, Dharmajna, Dharmavahna, Dharmadhamavine Maitri, Dhamik Mangalaprada, Dharmamai, Dharmashakti. 98. Vidharm, Vishvadhamini, Dharmantara, Dharmamai, Dharmapurva, Dhanav, Dharmopajthari, Dharmaksha, Dharmagamya, Dharadhara. 100. Mahadeveka Sakashini, Sadashiva, Vishayanamurti, Vedamurti, Amartika, Paramayashwari, Shobha, Vishala, Prasannavadana, Hritatma. This completes the list of the 1000 names given to the goddess. Although Himalaya had used 1008 names in the course of his prayers, 10 of these names are missing in the list. You will also have noticed that a few of the names occur more than once. The line of Uttanpada. It is hoped that you have not forgotten that Swayambhuva Manu and his wife Shatrupa had a son named Uttanpada. Uttanpada's brother was Priyavrata. Dhruva was Uttanpada's son. Dhruva was so devoted to Vishnu that Vishnu earmarked for him a place in the heaven known as Dhruvaloka. Dhruva became the pole star. The complete story of Dhruva and his tapasya is given in the Vishnu Purana. Also in Uttanpada's line was born Chakshusha. He became a Manu. Chakshusha was the sixth Manu of the present Kalpa. In Chakshusha Manu's line was born Vena, and Vena's son was Prithu. Prithu milked the earth and obtained food grains on which people can survive. That is the reason why the earth is known as Prithivi. Prithu's story is given in several Puranas, in addition to the Mahabharata and the Harivamsha. Prithu's son was Shikhandi and Shikhandi's son was Sushila. Sushila was a very religious person. He faithfully studied the Vedas and visited several places of pilgrimage. His travels eventually brought him to the Himalayas, through which the sacred river Mandakini flowed. Near the banks of the river was a beautiful hermitage. It was there that Sushila began to pray to Shiva. While Sushila was thus praying, a sage named Shvetashvatra arrived. The sage's body was lean with tapasya and he was smeared with ashes. Sushila finished praying to Shiva and worshipped the sage. "I am indeed fortunate that I have met you," he told Shvetashvatra. "Please make me your disciple and teach me all that there is to know." The sage agreed. He taught Sushila and several other disciples the knowledge of the Shastras, sacred texts. Shikhandi had a brother named Haviradhana. Haviradhana's son was Prachinavi. He married Savarn, the daughter of the ocean, and had 10 sons. These sons were known as the Prachetas. The Prachetas were devoted to Vishnu and prayed to Vishnu for several years. The Vishnu Purana states that they meditated for 10,000 years under the ocean. All 10 Prachetas married Marisha and Daksha was born as a result of this marriage. Marisha's story is given in the Vishnu Purana. It was this Daksha who had earlier been born as Brahma's son. Because he quarreled with Shiva, Shiva cursed Daksha that he would be born as the son of the Prachetas. "Tell us the story of Daksha," the sages requested Lumaharshana. The Prachetas are not to be confused with a sage named Pracheta. The sage Pracheta was Brahma's son, as per the Brahmavivarta Purana. Daksha's story. Daksha was Brahma's son and had a daughter named Sati. Sati was married to Shiva. Daksha was thus Shiva's father-in-law. Once Daksha came to visit his son-in-law. But although Shiva worshipped him with all due respect, Daksha felt that he had been slighted. Subsequently, when Sati went to visit her father, Daksha severely reprimanded her. "Your husband is worse than useless," he told his daughter. "My other sons-in-law are far superior to him. You are not welcome in my house. Return to your worthless husband." Sati could not bear to hear this abuse of her husband and immolated herself. She was later born as Parvati, the daughter of Himavana, the Himalayas, and married Shiva again. Shiva was furious to learn that Sati had died. He visited Daksha and cursed him that he would be born on earth as the son of a Kshatriya. It was thus that Daksha had been born as the son of the Prachetas. Daksha's story is full of inconsistencies in the Puranas. There is an account of a yajna that Daksha performed. Shiva either destroyed this yajna himself, or had it destroyed by Virabhadra. But which Daksha performed this yajna, the one who was the son of Brahma or the one who was the son of Prachetas? The Kurma Purana suggests that it was the son of the Prachetas who performed this ceremony. The more customary account, such as that in the Bhagavad Purana, is that it was Brahma's son who performed the sacrifice. Daksha was angered at Shiva because, on one particular occasion, Shiva did not stand up to show him respect, although Daksha happened to be Shiva's father-in-law. Daksha therefore organized a yajna to which he did not invite Shiva. Sati went to the ceremony uninvited, and immolated herself when her father started criticize her husband. Hearing of Sati's death, Shiva destroyed the yajna. He also cursed Daksha that Daksha would have to be born as the son of the Prachetas. To return to the account of the Kurma Purana, the Daksha, who was the son of the Prachetas, organized a yajna. All the gods and sages were invited to this ceremony. But as a result of Daksha's earlier enmity with his son-in-law, Shiva was not invited. There was a sage named Daksha who protested at this slight to Shiva. "How can you have a religious ceremony without inviting Shiva?" he told Daksha. "Shiva is a worthless fellow," replied Daksha. "He is not fit to be worshipped together with the other gods. He wears skulls and destroys all that is created. How can he be treated as an equal of the great Vishnu, the preserver of all that one can see? My yajna is dedicated to Vishnu. It is not meant for the likes of Shiva." Daksha tried to persuade Daksha that Shiva should not be ignored, but Daksha was in no mood to listen. Daksha refused to take part in such a yajna and assured Daksha that his ceremony would not be successfully completed. He also cursed the other sages, who had sided with Daksha, that they would go to hell and would deviate from the path laid down in the Vedas. The Mahabharata also records Daksha's protest. According to the Mahabharata, Daksha was devoted to Shiva. Daksha went ahead with his yajna. The other gods, including Vishnu, came to attend the ceremony. Meanwhile, Parvati got to know about the yajna and told Shiva, "How can there be a ceremony at which you are not invited? Although Daksha used to be my father in my earlier life, this evil act of his should not be condoned. Please destroy the ceremony." If one goes by the more customary account, the question of Parvati's asking Shiva to destroy the yajna does not arise. Sati died on the occasion of the ceremony, and it was the grief of Sati's death that led Shiva to exact vengeance. This happened much before Parvati was born as the daughter of Himavana. Because of Parvati's bidding, Shiva created a demon named Virabhadra. Virabhadra had 1,000 heads, 1,000 feet, 1,000 eyes and 1,000 arms. His body shone with radiance like the sun at the time of destruction. The 1,000 arms held all sorts of weapons in them. "What are my orders?" Virabhadra asked Shiva. "Go and destroy Daksha's yajna," was the reply. Virabhadra ascended a bull and set out for Daksha's house. He created thousands and thousands of demons who would aid him in the task of destruction. These demons were armed with spears, tridents, maces, clubs and stones. Parvati also created a goddess named Bhadrakali who would help Virabhadra. This strange army arrived at the place where the yajna was being held and said, "We are Shiva's followers. We have come to receive Shiva's share of the offerings." "No offerings have been earmarked for Shiva," replied the gods and the sages. "He has not even been invited to the sacrifice." These words angered Virabhadra and he began his task of destruction. His companions uprooted the scaffoldings that had been erected on the occasion of the sacrifice. The sacrificial horse was flung into the waters of the river Ganga. This was an Ashwamedha Yajna, horse sacrifice, that was being performed on the banks of the river Ganga. Vibhadra caught hold of Bhaga, identified as the sun god Surya, and tore out his eyes. He smashed the teeth of the god Pusha, also identified as another manifestation of the sun god Surya. As for the moon god Chandra, Vibhadra gave him a resounding kick and sent him reeling. The fire god Agni had his arms and tongue sliced off by Vibhadra's companions. The sages were kicked and boxed. Vishnu himself came to intervene and Vibhadra began to fight with Vishnu. Vishnu has a wonderful weapon named Sudarshana Chakra, a bladed discus, and he hurled this at Vibhadra. But Vibhadra easily repelled this weapon with his arrows. Vishnu is carried by Garuda, king of the birds. Garuda attacked Vibhadra, but so fierce was Vibhadra that Garuda had to flee. The entire universe marveled to see that Vibhadra could thus vanquish Vishnu and Garuda. Brahma now arrived and sought to put an end to the fighting. He started to pray to Shiva and Parvati arrived on the scene. The assembled gods and sages also began to pray to Shiva and Parvati. Parvati was moved to pity by these prayers. These gods and sages have now sought refuge with you, she told Shiva. Please pardon them their sins. Agreed, replied Shiva. You have my blessings no. But please remember that one cannot have a religious ceremony without I being worshipped. The gods and the sages realized that Shiva was no different from Vishnu. They were really one and the same, different manifestations of the same universal force. When Daksha had earlier been born as the son of Brahma, he had married Asikli, the daughter of Virana. There is a minor contradiction here as well. Earlier, the Kurma Purana has stated that Daksha's wife was Prasuti. It is of course possible that Prasuti and Asikli were different names for the same individual. Daksha and Asikli had 1,000 sons, but the sage Narada had persuaded these sons to become hermits, disinterested in worldly pursuits. The Vishnu Purana given a more complete account. First, 5,000 sons named the Hiranyaksha had been born and Narada had persuaded these sons to become hermits. Next, 1,000 sons named the Shavalashvas had been born and these had also become hermits at Narada's instigation. Thereafter, 60 daughters had been born. To return to the account of Kurma Purana, Daksha and Asikli had had 60 daughters had been married to Dharma, Brahma's son. There is again a contradiction. In the section on creation, the Kurma Purana had stated that 13 daughters had been married to Dharma. The 10 daughters who had been married to Dharma were Marutwati, Vasu, Yami, Lamba, Bhanu, Arundhati, Sankalpa, Muhurta, Sadhya and Vishwa. Vishwa's sons were the gods known as the Vishwadevas, Sadhya's sons the gods known as the Sadhyas, Marutwati's sons the gods known as the Bhanus. More usually, the Puranas have a completely different account of the birth of the Maruts. They were born as the sons of Diti, Kashyapa's wife. Muhurta gave birth to time, Lamba to cattle, Gorsha, Yami to snakes, Nagas, Arundhati to all the objects, Vishaya, on earth and Sankalpa to resolution, Sankalpa. 13 of Daksha's daughters had been married to the sage Kashyapa. Their names were Aditi, Diti, Arishta, Danu, Sursa, Kasa, Surbhi, Vinta, Tamra, Krodvasha, Ira, Kadru and Muni. 12 gods known as the Adityas were born as the sons of Aditi. Their names were Amsha, Datta, Bhaga, Twashta, Mitra, Varuna, Ayama, Vivaswan, Savita, Pusha, Anshumana and Vishnu. Danu's sons were demons, Danvas. Chief among them were Tara, Shambhara, Kapila, Shankara, Swabhanu and Vrishpava. Some Puranas mention 40 such sons. Sursa gave birth to the Gandharvas. More usually, it is stated that Sursa was the mother of the snakes, Nagas. Aristha's sons were thousands and thousands of snakes, Serpas. Kadru's sons were also snakes, Nagas. Tamra's daughters were the ancestors of the birds. Surbhi gave birth to cows and buffaloes and Ira to trees and herbs. Kasa was the mother of Yakshas, demigods, Muni of Apsaras and Krodvasha of Rakshasas. Vinta had two sons named Garuda and Aruna. These two sons performed very difficult tapasya. Garuda pleased Vishnu and obtained the boon that he would carry Vishnu around. Aruna pleased Shiva and obtained the boon that he would become the sun's charioteer. The story of the rivalry between Vinta and Kadru and their respective offspring is given in the Bhagavata and Matsya Puranas. This leaves Diti. She had two sons named Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. These two sons were demons and their children came to be known as the Daityas. Hiranyakashipu was elder to Hiranyaksha. The Puranas do not agree on this. In some Puranas, Hiranyaksha is referred to as the elder brother. Hiranyakashipu pleased Brahma through his prayers. As a result of the boon that he received from Brahma, he became invisible and started to oppress the world. He drove the gods out of heaven. The gods and the sages went to Brahma to persuade him to do something about Hiranyakashipu. I cannot really help you, said Brahma. Go to the northern shores of the great ocean and pray to Vishnu there. I will accompany you. It is Vishnu alone who can find a solution. Brahma led the gods and the sages to the shores of the great ocean and started to pray to Vishnu there. Vishnu appeared before them. Why have all of you come here? He asked. What do you want? It is Hiranyakashipu, replied the gods and the sages. He is oppressing the world thanks to a boon received from Brahma. Because of the boon, he can only be killed by you. Please kill him and save the universe. Vishnu created a being out of his body. This being was as gigantic as Mount Sumeru and held a lotus, Padma, a conch shell, Shankha, and a make, Gada, in his hands. Go and kill Hiranyakashipu, Vishnu instructed the being. The being thereupon ascended Garuda and left for Hiranyakashipu's capital. His roars made the ramparts of the city quake. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons named Prahlad, Anuhrada, Sanharada and Hirada. The more usual names are Prahlad, Anuhlada, Sanhalada and Hlada. Accompanied by Hiranyakashipu's demon soldiers, these 4 sons came out to fight with the being easily repelled all of these. The 4 princes then unleashed divine weapons on the being. Prahlad used Brahmastra, Anuhrada Vaishnavastra, Sanharada Kaumarastra and Hirada Agnayastra. But these divine weapons could do the wonderful being no harm. He merely picked up the princes and flung them far away. On seeing that his sons had thus been disposed of, Hiranyakashipu came to fight. He gave the being a resounding kick on his chest and the creature fled in pain to Vishnu. Vishnu now realized that he would have to take care of Hiranyakashipu himself. He adopted the form of a being who was a half man and half lion. Since Nara means man and Singha means lion, this came to be known as the Narsimha incarnation, Avatra, of Vishnu. Go and kill this peculiar creature, Hiranyakashipu instructed Prahlad. Prahlad and his brothers tried to fight with Vishnu, but were defeated easily. Hiranyakashipu now sent his brother Hiranyaksha to fight. Hiranyaksha used several weapons on Vishnu, including the diving weapon known as Pashupat. But these weapons could do Vishnu no harm. Meanwhile, Prahlad had realized that this being could be none other than Vishnu. He started to pray to Vishnu. He requested his brothers, uncle and father not to fight with Vishnu. Vishnu smote Hiranyakashipu's chest with his claws and thereby killed him. He also killed Anuhrada, Sanharada and Hirada. A fairly common story in the Puranas, such as the Vishnu Purana, is the story of Prahlad. Despite being Hiranyakashipu's son, Prahlad was devoted to Vishnu from his childhood. Hiranyakashipu had no desire to have a son who was devoted to Vishnu and did his level best to kill Prahlad. But Prahlad was protected by Vishnu and survived all these attempts. In the final incident, Narsimha appeared while Hiranyakashipu was arguing with Prahlad and killed the demon king. Vishnu then crowned Prahlad king in Hiranyakashipu's place. There was no question of Hiranyaksha becoming king after Hiranyakashipu. In the more common account, Hiranyaksha was the elder brother and had already been killed by Vishnu in his boar, Vara, incarnation. It was Hiranyaksha's death that led to Hiranyakashipu's hatred of Vishnu. There is thus some variance between this more common account and that related by the Kurma Purana. Hiranyaksha. After Hiranyakashipu died, Hiranyaksha became the king of the demons. Hiranyaksha promptly began to oppress the world. He defeated the gods and drove them out of heaven. He also took the earth down to the underworld. The gods again went to Brahma in search of a solution and Brahma took them to Vishnu. They prayed to Vishnu so that Hiranyaksha might be killed. Vishnu adopted the form of a boar and killed Hiranyaksha. He also raised the earth up to its rightful place. This was the story that was alluded to when the Kurma Purana mentioned Vishnu's boar incarnation. When Hiranyaksha was killed, Prahlad became the king of demons. Initially, he ruled well. He worshipped Vishnu and performed yajnas. The kingdom thrived and prospered. But on one occasion, Prahlad forgot to worship a Brahmana through inadvertence. The Brahmana was furious as he thought that Prahlad had done this knowingly. "You have dared to ignore me because you think that you are blessed by Vishnu," said the Brahmana. "I curse you that you will forget all about Vishnu. Your delusions will make you fight with Vishnu and you will lose all your powers." As a result of the Brahmana's curse, Prahlad deviated from the righteous path. He ignored the Brahmanas and the Vedas. He desired to have revenge on Vishnu for having killed his father and uncle. Prahlad fought a long and bitter war with Vishnu. When he was eventually defeated by Vishnu, he realized the folly of his evil ways and sought refuge with Vishnu. After Prahlad's death, Hiranyaksha's son Andhaka became the king of the demons. A digression on Gautama. Many years ago, there was a terrible drought on earth. There was no food to be had and famine prevailed. There were several sages who lived in the forest, and they too suffered from a lack of food. Gautama was a very powerful sage and he had a hermitage in the forest. Such were the powers that Gautama had that it never stopped raining in his hermitage. There was no famine there and plenty of food was to be had. The other sages therefore went to Gautama's hermitage and begged him to provide them with food and shelter. This request Gautama readily agreed to, and the sages lived there happily. After 12 years had passed, it began to rain again. The drought had passed and food grains started to grow. The sages now begged their leave of Gautama. "Stay for a few more days," said Gautama. "Be my guests and bless my household." The sages tarried, but they were jealous of Gautama and his powers. They therefore plotted to bring about Gautama's downfall. With their own powers, they created a black calf. This calf was nothing but an illusion. But having created it, the sages sent it to Gautama. Gautama found the calf wandering around and decided to take it to his cowshed. But as soon as he touched the calf seemed to die. All this was because of the illusion, but Gautama did not know this. He was thunderstruck at having killed a cow. "You are evil, you have killed a cow," the sages told Gautama. "It would be a sin to remain as your guest. We are leaving." By then, Gautama had got to know that the calf had been an illusion. He was extremely angry with the sages and cursed them, "Because you have been evil, you have deviated from the path laid down by the Vedas. You will rot in hell and will have to be born several times to be freed of your sins." The sages started to pray to Vishnu and Shiva. They wished that their sins might be cleansed. "What shall we do with these sages?" Shiva asked Vishnu. "Shall we pardon them? They are praying for deliverance." "Never," replied Vishnu. "Those who do not follow what is laid down in the Vedas will surely rot in hell. But since they are not permitted to follow the sacred Shastras, let us compose some other Shastras for them. They will follow those evil Shastras, rot in hell and be born on earth several times. That is their penance." To delude the sages, Shiva himself pretended to be a great religious teacher. He preached evil ways and the stupid Brahmanas began to follow what he preached. While Shiva was gone, he left his companion Nandi to look after his household. He also gave Vishnu the overall responsibility of ensuring that all was well with Parvati and the gods and the sages. Realizing that Shiva was away, Andhaka thought that this was the opportune moment for abducting Parvati. He found that Nandi stood guard at the entrance to Shiva's house and began to fight with Nandi. Nandi struck Andhaka on the chest with a trident. This angered Andhaka and he created 1,000 other demons who were just like him in appearance. This army of demons defeated Nandi and the gods. Nandi did not know what to do and started to pray to Vishnu. Vishnu created some goddesses from his body and these goddesses killed the demon soldiers. Andhaka also fled. After 12 years had passed, Shiva returned and learned what had transpired. By then, Andhaka had recovered and he returned, determined in his bid to abduct Parvati. Both Shiva and Vishnu started to fight with Andhaka's army. Vishnu told Shiva, "Kill this demon. No one but you can kill Andhaka. Please kill the demon and deliver the universe." Shiva pierced Andhaka's chest with a trident. He held the trident aloft, with Andhaka transfixed to one of its prongs. And with his trident held aloft, Shiva began to dance. But all the evil had deserted Andhaka's body and mind as soon as he had been pierced by Shiva's trident. He started to pray to Shiva. These prayers pleased Shiva. He lowered the trident and told Andhaka, "I am pleased with your prayers. My companions are known as the Ganas. Stay by my side and be a Ganpati, that is, a lord over the Ganas. You will be Nandi's companion." If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like and subscribe to be notified of when new audiobooks are uploaded. Thank you for listening and learning. Shanti.